Okay, I think it worked. So yeah, I'm gonna record a hour-long um, restorative yoga class, and I have lots of different props that I just gathered from around my house. So like the pillows that are on the couch, you know, nice and squishy, but like square. Got a couple of those. I got some pillows that are on the bed. So like more rectangular kind of pillows. Hopefully, maybe you got some thicker ones. You know, just get a wide range of things. Blanket, like some kind of blanket. This is like a least ideal blanket. I prefer, you know, if you have like Mexican blankets, those are great because they're easy to fold, but also towels are easy to fold. So like, you know, you can use like thicker cotton towels that you can fold really well, really easily, and use them for props. So I got a bunch of towels back here. Also have books. Um, so like I have a couple of small, you know, smaller books that are about the same size and bigger books that are about the same size. That way you can use them for a little bit more structure, a little bit more scaffolding. And if you have yoga blocks, of course, you can use yoga blocks, but I'm trying to get by without them as much as possible, just because I'm assuming most people don't have that stuff at home. Um, so the idea behind the props for restorative yoga, but just in general, the idea behind the props is that you have like some more structural things, some like more solid things, and that represents your bones, your skeleton. And then you have some softer things, pillows, blankets, towels, whatever, and that represents your muscles and your connective tissue. So you want to have both so that you can like really feel like your muscles and your skeleton are supported so that they can let go, so that you can restore the joints. Because the whole point of this kind of yoga is to get into the connective tissue and to help like release tension that, you know, is very stubborn and has been hanging out there for a while. So yeah, so like, you know, a big part of it is trying to be still. A big part of it is using your breath. You know, use some sound when you breathe for sure. Breathe with a sigh or a hum or a lip flutter just to release your jaw. Um, and the other thing is trying to practice closing your eyes if you can, if you don't feel comfortable with that. And just keep your eyes focused on one point, something that's still. And another thing that's nice is to stretch your eyes while they're closed. So even just like kind of rolling them around in your eye sockets while your eyes are closed, or making figure eights, or making circles, or pointing, you know, north, south, east, west, like making a cross with your eyes, just to give them a stretch. And then try to let them be still and just see how that goes. So we'll do like 10 to 12 poses. Each pose is a couple of minutes. Um, you know, so from pose to pose, it's really important to move slow and be really mindful. I'm going to use a timer so that I can keep, you know, a little bit more structure for myself as a teacher, because I'm going to do the poses as well. And hopefully be able to like relax into them and get some restoration in my joints. And I'll tell you that this is very frequently a thing that I do before I go to bed. You know, I'll pick like one or two of these, or maybe I'll do a whole class, but it's a really nice way to kind of like wind down. So just so you know, that's something that you want to do. Great, cool. And of course, if you have any questions, just let me know. All right, so we're going to start without any of the props. Actually, we're going to start just on our bellies. So laying with your forehead on your mat. I think I'm going to face this way. Oh, yeah. I also wanted to say I have a chair. I have a chair by me because we're going to do legs up the wall, or you're going to put your legs on a chair towards the end of the practice. So have a chair or have a wall nearby you that you can use. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I take my slippers off. Like I said, we're going to start on our bellies. Some people call this crocodile pose. You just lay on your belly, you put your hands underneath your forehead, and you put your legs out long behind you. All right, this is a little bit out of the way. I'm going to lay my blanket down just because my floor is cold. All right. So like I said, hands under your forehead, legs long behind you. Make your big toes touch each other. Let your heels flop away from each other. Your hands are under your forehead so that your neck, so that your face has room away from the floor. Use your hands like a pillow, kind of put them in a place that feels comfortable. And if you have like a big belly or a big chest, you can always put something underneath your rib cage to help support you. You know, maybe like you could put a pillow, or you could roll up a blanket. You could roll up a pillow even, just to have a little bit more space away from the floor. Once you get into your pose, trust your instincts. And, you know, if you need to move stuff or you need to adjust things, that's cool. Just try to be still as much as you can and give yourself a chance to let go completely and breathe. Use some sound when you breathe. Maybe rock your head side to side or your hips side to side, just to keep releasing the neck, the shoulders, the hips. Pay attention to all of the parts of your body that are touching the floor, and see if you can deepen their connection with the floor just by bringing your awareness there. So just letting go, trusting that the floor will hold up every part of your body. You can switch which hands on top if you like. Take 2 more big breaths into your belly, as if you could fill up your back and fill up your hips, fill up your legs. From here, nice and slow, turn your head to one side, and whichever cheek you put on the mat, like whichever direction you're facing, you're going to bring that same leg out to the side. And you can kind of rest your leg however feels the most comfortable. It could be like a figure four. It could be like a 90-degree angle at the knee, but put your arms out like a cactus. So my left arm is the same as my right arm. Those are spread out and at 90 degrees. And then my leg is the same. And of course, if you want, some cushion underneath anywhere, maybe under the knee, maybe under the hip, maybe under the foot, I'm going to use this unfolded towel, all sort of unfolded. And then you can rock yourself forward and back a couple of times. You could put something under your rib cage again if you want to. But one cheek on the mat, whatever direction you're facing, that's the leg that goes out. You mimic the shape of your arms with your leg if that feels right. Otherwise, bring your foot closer to you. Any sort of cushion you want under your hips or near your ankle. And then just try to settle down, try to close your eyes and be still. Take big belly breaths again. Maybe use a little sound this time. A hum or a ha, sigh, lip flutter. You can stick out your tongue and stretch out your jaw. And I recommend closing the eyes. Maybe you roll your eyes around in their socket just for a couple of breaths, just to give them a stretch, and then let them be still. Keep letting go into the floor. If your mind starts to act up, it's totally normal, so just try to stay focused on your breath. Now I'm inhaling, and now I'm exhaling. Now I'm inhaling, and now I'm exhaling. Inhales, I calm my mind. Exhales, I calm my body. Keep scanning through your body and notice if there's anything that you're holding on to. Keep letting go. Maybe start at your foot and keep letting go through the leg and letting go through the hip, letting go through the belly, the rib cage, letting go through your shoulders all the way out to your hands. Letting go your neck, your jaw, your eyebrows. 2 more breaths. Use a little sound. And slowly go to the other side. So slide that leg straight. Slowly turn the other cheek. Adjust how you need, any props you need. And then once you turn the other cheek, the other leg gets to go out. Big breaths. You know, just keep challenging yourself to stay focused on the breathing, to continuously let go. We'll do 5 more breaths. Slowly bring your forehead to the floor. Slide your legs straight back behind you. Really mindful how you do this, just nice and slow. Keep it gentle and smooth. Use your hands and knees to push yourself up so that we can set ourselves up for the next pose, which is a supported back bend. So you can use whatever you want. I'm going to use my books. You have a block, maybe use that. And then we're going to put the rectangular pillows on top of that, or a rectangular pillow, or you can use a towel if you prefer. But it's basically like a supported fish. We're going to lay back and open our arms and open our legs like a cactus, or open our legs like a butterfly. So I'm going to use my big, thick books. And those are going to support kind of like right in the middle of your spine, like they'll go sort of right between your shoulder blades so that your head can drop back. If you want your head supported too, just grab some more books so that way you can put some books under your head and some books under your shoulder blades. But the goal is to open the middle of your chest and your throat. Yeah, so 2 books, cushions, that should be good. And then I'm going to use my towels for my legs. You can use like the couch pillows for your legs if that is nice for you. I'm going to roll these towels up and put them underneath my hips. So as you see, it's like folded, and then I'm going to roll it up. And I'm going to put it right under here. Right. You can put it under your ankle as well. Kind of see what feels comfortable. Always trust your instincts for sure. So if you need to adjust something, you do and you can. I'll put this over my feet. My feet are cold. So my feet are soles of feet together, knees out like a butterfly. Books so that they're underneath my shoulder blades. And then cushion. Just try to walk your shoulder blades underneath you. Let your palms face up. And, you know, as you can see, I'm letting my head drop back a little bit. So For me, that feels really good and comfortable. But if you want to have your head more supported, get some more books or maybe roll up more pillows or more blankets so your head is more lifted up, which is fine. And walk your shoulder blades together underneath you. You can start by moving your arms around kind of like a snow angel, just to let the chest loosen up, kind of decide, do you want your arms up? Do you want your arms out? Do you want them down? Do you want them sitting on your belly? And then we're going to stay here for a couple minutes. So try to let your eyes close. Try to let your jaw drop. In this pose, I like to think about my neck a lot, but beyond just the neck of my head, I like to think about the neck of my hands, so my wrists, and the neck of my feet, so my ankles. Also think about the neck of my waist, right? Like all these different areas that are filled with joints, and how we can loosen up all sides of them just by bringing awareness to what we're using to support them. So right now, there's a blanket supporting, or a towel supporting my ankles. Nothing supporting my hand except for the floor, but I can release my joints, my tension of my hands into the floor. A pillow and a book are supporting my head right underneath me, so I can release that. I just think it's important to consider balanced joint space. So if you think about a joint and all the bones that are part of that, can you make a balanced amount of space in between all of those bones? Whether you're using gravity or your breath or support from props like blankets or pillows or books. And sometimes just imagining, just going far enough to imagine that joint space is enough. Every inhale, you bring more space in there, and every exhale, you release the tension. Sometimes you need more props. Sometimes you need more support. But try to let your breath be the barometer of that, Use your breath to help let you relax. Just need to take off my sweater because it's driving me crazy. Make sure your butt is all the way on the floor for sure. You could feel your pelvis down there grounded. Move the fleshy parts out of the way. Couple more breaths. Remember, there's a lot of right ways to do this, so you don't necessarily have to breathe with sound. It just helps me. You could breathe quietly. You could put the tip of your tongue right behind your teeth and try to breathe in and out through your nose. Maybe breathe in and out through your nose by way of the throat, so you're making like an oceanic kind of sound with your breath, sort of like Darth Vader. Maybe that's that ujjayi breath. You could also just breathe in and out through your nose quietly. Like I said, there's a lot of right ways to do this, so trust your instincts. Give yourself a good stretch before we leave this pose. Maybe a little wiggle, stretch your arms, stretch your legs. You can straighten them, you could rock your head side to side. We're gonna go really slow to a fetal position to the left side. So bend your knees and put your feet flat. I'm gonna use your left arm and your legs to help you slide off of the props that you have so that you can do it real gentle and smooth. And then let your head rest on your arm. Kind of let yourself be a little contained in your fetal position. Let your eyes close. And just observe the difference from that big, wide open pose to this more closed off situation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then use your hand that's on top to push into the floor. Use your legs, use everything to help you sit up. And we're going to keep a really similar position with our props so that we can do a supported twist. So I'll stay facing this way. My left thigh is parallel to the top edge of my yoga mat. It's also perpendicular to the blanket. So you want to scoot up really close to that prop. And again, there's something hard underneath. And there's a little room for my belly to be able to rest. What's that? Oh, it's a rainbow from the crystal in the window. That's so cool. I'm like, what is that? Okay, so anyway, you want to try to get your hips to stack one on top of each other. So you see how my right hip is behind my left? I'm going to try to stack my right hip so it goes on top of my left. And if that means you need to adjust where your blankets are or anything like that, maybe put a pillow or a blanket or a towel between your knees, between your legs. But then you're going to turn to face your pillows so that way your whole torso can lay flat on these pillows, on these props. And we're going to have both cheeks on the floor. We're going to rest both cheeks, so we'll look towards one side for a couple of breaths and then the other way. You can continue looking back and forth, or you could stay. But the goal for this is to get both sides of your rib cage down on the props. So it's a pretty, for me, it feels like a pretty intense twist. You might need to adjust where you put the props so that your arms can really relax. Sometimes it's nice to have them more on one side than the other. So if you're twisting to the left, it's nice to have it more under your left rib cage and left shoulder so that the right side can rest. Remember, move really slow and gentle as you go from shape to shape. When you turn your head, move really slow and gentle. And even if it's a little uncomfortable, which I'll tell you for me, it's pretty uncomfortable, but when I can actually close my eyes and let go and just take a couple of breaths, it does feel really good. So my suggestion to you is just like give yourself a count, maybe you can only muster one deep breath before you need to turn your cheek. Maybe you could do 5, maybe 10. Try to take a few more breaths with each cheek on the floor so that you've put each cheek on on its side at least twice. Try to do an even number. Couple more breaths. Remember, close your eyes when you can. Your eyes are muscles too, so you want to give them a time to rest. Again, maybe roll them around in their sockets like figure eights. And keep scanning through your body and see if there's anything else you can release. Remember, move gentle, move slowly, really fluidly from shape to shape. So we'll go to the other side twist. So bring anything to the other side that you need. I like to do a little tabletop in between and just kind of circle around my hips and my shoulders, circle around my head and neck, real gentle, just to prepare for that other side twist, making some balanced space in between my bones. So if you think of your spine having that balanced joint space, your spine is like a very complicated structure. So like our whole bodies are really. So from your tail to your head, especially while you're twisting, from your tail to your head, you want it to extend and make space in between every single one of those joints. So that's why we're trying, instead of sitting the hips back, I'm going to stack the hips one on top of the other, so my left hip is on top of my right. My right thigh is parallel to the front edge of my mat. So that way I can extend my spine while it's twisting. To help give it more support. So now that I'm sitting on my right hip, I'm going to put the cushions and the structure the props a little more under my right rib cage, my right side chest, my right shoulder. And again, you're trying to extend the whole spine from head to tail. And just have it feel as supported as it can. So there might be some adjustments that you need to do. Scan through, let go of whatever is possible, and just really use your breath. Use sound if you'd like. Remember, we'll keep switching cheeks. You could do it just once, so you're on one cheek for halfway and the other cheek for halfway. Or you can keep switching back and forth. Keep letting go into the floor, letting go into the props. Maybe give yourself a count how many breaths you take per cheek. Probably about halfway through the amount of time we'll be here. And just keep checking in. The more you allow yourself to let go, the more benefit you're going to get from this kind of stuff. So keep scanning, checking if you're holding on. Maybe your butt's clenching, your hands, your jaw, your neck. Try to close your eyes. Big breaths, long breaths, slow breaths. Just a couple more breaths. Remember, move slow. Oh. So child's pose is going to be our neck shape. So just sit your hips back on your heels. If you want a little cushion between your thighs and your calves, like between your knees, you can do that. I'm going to do that. And then just a little bit, for me, feels nice, just a little extra. You could put something under your butt. And then I'm going to use the same prop system to bring closer, kind of like between my legs, so that my chest can rest on this. And then again, I'm going to turn my cheek, but ultimately you can put your forehead down, maybe your hands down, maybe instead of having something under your belly, you put something just under your head. Depending on how much room you need, how much support you need. You could also put something like between your belly and your thighs, if that feels better. We're looking for that balanced joint space, right? So we're trying to set up the props in a way that can help us to feel a nice long spine. And like here, maybe my neck is a little tilted up, so I want my neck to go down a little bit. So instead, I'm going to use one pillow and see if I can kind of like tuck it a little more. Yeah, that's better. Because now I have this nice like downward slope for my spine to stretch. See how my tail is just a little bit higher, and maybe I'll make it even higher. It's always nice to do this with somebody else who can help you, but you get used to it. And you can put your arms wherever you want. They can go back by your sides to stretch your shoulders if it feels good. Like I said, you could put your hands under your forehead if you want. And you could stretch them out. Feel free to keep turning your cheek. We're about halfway through, maybe 10 more breaths. Remember, keep scanning through every inhale. Bring more space in between your bones. And every exhale, release the tension in your muscles. Just try to keep focusing on that. Inhale, I calm my mind. Exhale, I calm my body. Inhale, I support my bones. Exhale, I release my muscles. Whatever you want to think, whatever works for you. The whole point, though, is like, it's you. You're the one who's got to do it for yourself, Nobody else can do it for you. I can help you. People can help you, but you got to do it. You got to take care of you first. Couple more breaths. So again, move really slow to the next pose. Let's see. So we're going to move right into the legs up the wall or the legs on the chair. So I'm going to use 2 pillows underneath my butt. And you could use a block too or a book too if you want, just to have a little bit more height. But the point of that is so that you have a little back bend. Your lower spine, you know, different, our spine curves naturally. So it curves in the neck, it goes out in the middle of the spine, the thoracic, and then it curves again in the lower spine. And that those curves change person to person, but we still want to try to support them every so often, you know, and strengthen them and stretch them. So I'm going to use these pillows, and I'm going to put my butt on these pillows. And I'm just putting the towel there because the chair feels cold. I'm a sensitive flower. So it's harder to do this if you're going on a wall, because you can't put your feet on the chair to help you pick your butt up and put your butt on the cushion. So like that's the easiest way I know how to do this. If you're up against the wall, you're going to want to go like all the way sideways so your butt is up against the wall, and then like, you know, scooch kind of weirdly, not at all graceful, and then put your legs, you know, up your wall. It's easier on a chair because you can put your feet on the chair and kind of adjust where you're at. So then, like I said, you want your butt lifted up just a little bit or a lot. You could have it lifted up a lot. It might feel really nice. And you can also, if you want, make a little roll for your neck so that there's a little curve under your neck. So like a little curve in your low back and a little curve under your neck, and then your thoracic gets to stretch up. So my head is still on the floor. My hips are cushioned. And my legs are up. Okay. You can put your arms out if that feels good, out like a cactus. You can put your hands on your belly if that feels good. Close your eyes. Maybe make those figure eights with your eyes again. And just scan through your body and see if there's anything else you can let go. I like to think about the magic school bus. I like to think about Miss Frizzle. And I like to, like, when I scan through, I like go down to the size of like a little teeny tiny version of myself, and I like travel through my whole body and see if there's anything I can let go of, anything I don't need anymore. And I'm primarily talking about physically, like any physical tension you can let go. But there might also be some emotional stuff or some mental stuff that comes up that you're like, oh yeah, I can let that go too. Like this is all, we're all connected, you know, like we're all connected inside, we're all connected to each other, we're all connected to the planet. Like it's really common that stuff comes up, and especially during a time in society when, you know, wild things are happening. It's very common for all sorts of stuff to come up and move around, and lots of different emotions, lots of different thoughts. So just try to be compassionate to them, you know. Try to welcome them, try to nurture them. And then you might be able to let them go. We're just trying to investigate our bodies, become more aware of our bodies so we can better take care of them. Not just our bodies, our minds, our spirits, each other, the planet. 5 more breaths. Okay, so we're going to do another twist, but this time we'll stay on our backs to do it. So you can keep the roll under your neck, you can keep the thing under your hips if you want. I'm going to take them out because I'm going to use these pillows between my knees. So we'll see. Hold on. Okay. So one leg straight and one leg. So my left leg is straight. My right leg, right knee comes up into your chest. Give it a squeeze, maybe move it around a little bit. And then you're going to let it go all the way over to the left side. So try to stack your hips. So again, the hips, right hip on top of left hip. Try to put your shoulders so that they're both flat on the floor. And then if you want a cushion underneath your knee to twist it, you do. You look over to the right as your knee goes to the left. Just keep letting go into the floor. Use your breath. Close your eyes. Two more big breaths. Long, slow inhales. Met with long, slow exhales. And just slowly bring both of your knees into your chest. You might use the wall or the chair to help you. And then we'll switch sides. So the right leg goes straight. The left leg comes into the chest. Maybe make some circles with it. Before you cross the left leg to the right. Maybe a cushion or two underneath it. So remember, try to stack your hips one on top of the other. And then scoot your shoulder blades so that both shoulder blades are on the ground as best as they can be. Cushion under the knee, under the thigh. Turn your head to face your left side, left arm out, left leg out right. Eyes closed. 8 more breaths. Just check on my time. Keep scanning through, letting go. Remember, little magic school bus, little tiny Miss Frizzle, little tiny students going through the body, trying to help you let go. Two more long, slow. Okay, so again, move really slow. Bring both your knees back into center. You can use that wall or that chair to help you get your hips back to flat. And just pick up your arms and legs and rotate your wrists and your ankles a little bit. Just move your hands and feet around. Any way that you want. You can move your thigh bones around. You can hold your knees and point and flex your feet. I like to pretend that my feet are like bird claws and they're like grabbing a hold of a branch. And I like to pretend that my hands are like a 5-legged octopus and I'm like trying to get a fish or something. All right, so before we sit up, we're going to end in constructive rest. So let your feet go wider than your hips. And let your knees fall in towards each other. And again, your arms can rest however you want. I like to walk my shoulder blades underneath me and let my palms face up. But if you'd rather put your hands on your belly, that's cool too. Maybe somewhere else feels more comfortable for you. Close your eyes, put the tip of your tongue right behind your teeth. Just in and out through the nose for a couple of breaths. Maybe you roll your eyes around in their sockets one last time. Keep letting go into the ground, into the floor. So we did a left side fetal position before. So to get up to our seat, we'll do a right side fetal position. Rest there for a few breaths. Feel free to use props if you need them. Slowly bring yourself to a seat, and we're going to sit up on something. So you can sit on your butt and cross your legs. You can sit on your shins. That's how I like to sit. I'm going to put the books underneath my butt and then a pillow on top of the books. It's kind of like that situation. And I'm going to go around it. I'm going to do a little breathing exercise to end. We're going to do alternate nostril breathing. Gets both sides of your brain to work together. Gets you focused and all sorts of stuff. And you could just, lay down. You don't have to end with this, but for me, it's morning, so I'm going to start my day and, alternate nostril breathing can also help you to sleep, so it's not also help you to relax, so it's not necessarily bad to do at night. So the whole point of this seat is that your hips are above your knees. So even if you're sitting cross-legged, make your hips above your knees so that you can sit tall, you can be elevated. And then take the fleshy parts, like the good stuff, and move it out of the way. Try to sit really tall. So like you're right in the center of your pelvis. I can feel it. You can rock your pelvis around, side to side, front to back. Just make sure you're sitting right in the middle. Sit up really tall and really well. We'll do both hands. I like to use the surfer sign, right? But if you want to use all of your fingers, that's cool too. You could put your two peace fingers in between your eyebrows, and then you use your thumb and your ring finger and your pinky finger to manipulate your nostrils. But I just keep it really simple, and I just use my pinky and my thumb to manipulate. Right, so we're just gonna inhale through the left and just exhale out the right. I'm going to use my right hand, cover my right nostril with my thumb. Inhale to the left. Cover it. Exhale right. If you can, close your eyes. Inhale left. Exhale right. 3 more. Inhale left. Exhale right. Try to send the breath all the way to your belly. Inhale left. Exhale right. 1 more. Okay, let that hand rest. Kind of shake that arm out a little bit. Now we'll use the other hand. So left thumb covers left nostril. Inhale right. Cover it with the pinky. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Keep going. Keep sitting up tall. Try to imagine while you're sitting that you're hanging down towards the ceiling, like you're hanging away from the floor. So your center of your pelvis, in the center of your rib cage, you feel that balanced joint space in there. Your neck, your skull, you feel that balanced joint space in there. It's just like this constant lift up. A couple more. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. All right, so let your hand rest down. I am cold. I'm going to put my sweater on. So now we're going to do proper alternate nostril. I know it's been 1 hour, but that's okay. We can do this. So proper alternate nostril breathing. Inhale through the left, right? Cover your right nostril. Inhale through the left. Cover the left. Exhale right. But now inhale right. Cover the right and exhale left. Inhale left. Cover the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Cover the right. Exhale left. Switch hands. Remember, keep sitting up tall and just stay as relaxed as you can. Relax your hand down. Relax your hip down. Your shoulders down. Your jaw. Let your hands rest in your lap. Let your tongue touch the tip of your palate right behind your teeth. Just breathe in and out through the nose a couple times. You rub your hands really nice. We'll end the class together with nice warm hands. Oh my God, it looks so cool. Ooh. All right, so press your palms right between your eyebrows, and I just want you to think, may there be peace in my thoughts. Take a deep breath into that. Deep breath out. Slide your hands down to your lips, and here I'd like you to think, may there be peace in my words. With that thought, take a deep breath. Last one. Keep pressing into all your fingers. Slide your hands right in the center of your chest. And here, I just want you to think, may there be peace in my actions. With that, take a breath. Thank you so much. So, in case you didn't know, namaste, well, the way that I have heard it to be translated is, the light in me sees the light in you. So namaste. I hope you have a really great day. Again, if you have any questions, let me know.